Hey guys, Tony Reed here. Now we all know spring is right around the corner and you're going to need plenty of podcasts on your playlist for those long hours in the field. The one podcast that I'm going to recommend is Farm for Profit. Tanner, Dave, and Corey do a phenomenal job of having a wide range of guests on their show. It might be anyone from a university professor to an estate planner to a marketing analyst. They even have Machinery Pete on there from time to time. Then once a week they do a Farm for Fun episode where they sit around and crack a few cold ones and kind of get off the beaten path a little bit. And those guests may come from Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, or even TikTok. It's a great podcast. You got to go check it out. They're on all the major players, Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, all of them. You can even go to Google and type in farm4profit.com and read all about them. They call themselves the mullet of podcasts. Go check it out. You won't regret it. That's farm4profit. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Straightforward Farming Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reed, alongside Nick McCormick and the lovely Mrs. Growing Corn. Again.
She's back.
She's like herpes. About the time I think we get rid of her, she comes back.
Flares right back up.
I think you made that joke already. You need a new one.
Okay, well, I'll have to dig through my file and see if I can pull something different. The woman who complains about being tired, and I'm like, well, why are you so tired? Well, it's because I stayed up till 4 o'clock this morning reading a book. Read 1,100 pages from 10 o'clock that night till 4:30 that morning.
Sure did.
Yeah, good plan.
Yeah. It was a great plan.
Oh, I'm sure it was a great book.
It was a fantastic book, I can assure you.
What was it about?
It was a mystery.
Oh, geez.
Nancy
Drew.
It was fiction, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
You could have read a real mystery and or an ops manual, and then you could, know some stuff.
No, it was one of those books where you're just reading through it, and every page
like an ops manual,
you have no clue what's going to happen next, and then you get to the end, and you're like, "That was not where I thought that was going at all."
Once again, have you seen the new ops manuals? You'd be like, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to drink battery acid.
Yeah,
I'd be bored out of my mind.
No, you could learn about how to put a new hood on your lawnmower.
Yeah,
my lawnmower is just fine.
And for those that are listening, I did not buy my wife a new mower. That was a complete joke at John Deere the other day. They had a new mower sitting there with the hood off. I'm like, oh, yeah, that would be perfect for the wife. New mower, no hood.
I can assure you, if you showed up with a new mower, I would be mad.
Mowing the yard.
I can assure you, not that many years ago, if that hood had got torn off when that mower was in town, that'd have been in crisis lockdown.
Well, yeah, because he did the mowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you walked on the grass when we lived in town.
It was not allowed.
I was not allowed to mow when we lived in town because I didn't get the lines straight.
Exactly. I put stripes in the yard. You had a little kink in them. It's like, no.
Do it right or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Kevin.
We don't have auto steer on a lawnmower.
I tried.
You had to drive the 75
hard.
feet freehand.
It was literally like every time you were like, okay, Carolyn, I'm going to let you mow. Like, I was so riddled with anxiety. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get out of line. He's going to freak out. I don't know what to do. And then I was like, I'd just rather not mow.
We did have the best looking yard in town.
We did.
It was nice, yeah.
We did.
I was out in Yellowstone. I think it was in 2012, the year that I did in the yard and put in the underground irrigation where you just flip the switch and the sprinklers come up out of the grass.
Yeah.
Most beautiful yard in town. And she called me. We were in Yellowstone. And she said, there are 3 grown men on their hands and knees in our front yard looking at our grass. Remember that?
No.
Yeah,
because
every time I'd be outside, you'd always have this whole flock of people stop by and, what do you do to your grass? And what kind of seed? And this and that. And so, and I told these guys over and over and over what to do. Don't go to Walmart and buy this fertilizer. It's junk and they got no phosphate in it.
Yeah.
Because we're going green. Go to your local ag supplier, get 5-gallon buckets full of fertilizer and use that. It'll be perfect. And I mean, I kept telling these guys over and over and over and what to do. So finally, the one guy stopped by one day. He's like, so what kind of fertilizer do you use? I said, okay, here's what you got to do. I said, go to Walmart and get their bags of 12, 12, 12. Yep, got them. I said, okay, as soon as you get home with them, throw them in a fucking dumpster because you don't want them. They're junk. Go down to Equity, get you some real fertilizer, and it'll be fine. And I don't think they ever did. They just couldn't. They couldn't wrap their brain around it. Yeah. So it's like whatever.
I'll never forget. It was the summer. It was like in July, and Henry was pretty young, and we were going to have a date night. And everyone was like, oh, what are you guys going to do for your date night? And I was like, well, Tony's decided we're tearing up the lawn. So our date night consisted of literally tilling up our entire front and backyard.
Yeah.
It was exciting. And then we had to spread hay all out. And
It looked nice.
Straw, Carolyn. Straw.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Try to get it right.
Put my foot in my mouth already.
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand, though, how people can read books like you do. What do you read? 4 or 5 books a week?
Yeah, at least.
I mean, that's just asinine. Why would you do such a thing?
Why wouldn't you do
Because
that?
you can watch TV and get the same result and not have to read it, is my thing.
But I like using my own imagination.
But you're not using your own imagination.
Yes, you
You're doing
are.
what the book's telling you.
Yeah, but whenever you read the book, you're making the characters and imagining them in your head your own way, rather
Here's
than
my
a
problem.
rather than a TV telling you what you need to think. You get to think on your own.
and I don't disagree with that, but here's my problem with that. If it's something that is going to be made into a TV movie or a show, if you've read it, you have a vision in your mind, right? And then the show never lives up to that.
Never.
Or if you've seen the
Ever.
show, then the book, you're like, well, they're describing this. Like, no, that guy's face in my mind is this, and on the show, that's not even right.
Yep.
So that's my struggle on that.
And they don't even follow the same story.
No,
They got the
no.
same general plot, but there's a lot of differences. So
I give up on that. I read Where the Red Fern Grows, which is a great book.
Yeah, read
and
it.
then you see the show, and you're like, well, it's not even right. It's not even close.
Yep.
And so you got to pick
Because
one or the other.
Whenever they go to make the movie, they have to make it entertaining and more exciting. And
No, they could
to
just follow
hook
the way it should be.
But
As per
if
the
you
book.
followed a book the way it should be, then all of your movies would be 6 hours long because there's so many more details packed into books
That's true.
that make the story that much more interesting versus they're like, okay, we have 2 hours to fit this in a movie. Well, we're going to scrap this idea. Well, because we scrapped this, we got to throw in
That just
something
shows you how much garbage is in a book. Stuff that you don't need. You can still watch it and get the same result.
No, I disagree.
Tony does have a point. If it's good enough to be made into a show, yeah, don't even need it. You just get the show and you're
I
good.
agree. And her excuse to me is, well, why do you always watch stuff about World War II? You already know everything there is to know about World War II, which I don't. I ain't even scratched the surface
No.
on World War II.
I could read about World War II for days.
I can too, actually, though. I love World War II stuff.
I do
That's
too. That
one
was
of my
back
most-
when this country fought a war to win a war. That was the last time we fought one to win it. Maybe Korea to some degree, but ever since then, it's been a political shit show.
Yeah.
That the enemies are firing at you, but you can't fire back.
I mean, even World War II had a little bit of that in there. World War I was probably the last one that we fought solely to win. World War II had a lot of political side agendas that we didn't realize at the time.
Yeah. But Vietnam. Oh, you can't cross this line here.
No,
No matter what.
No. And we're going to take this hill, but there's nothing at the top, so we'll give it back.
And I'm not knocking the veterans up.
No, but not by any means.
They were doing exactly what they were told, and they were complete heroes in my mind. But you had all
For
these
sure.
politicians that didn't have a fucking clue.
With an agenda.
Yeah, and it was just stupid. I mean,
Like we were talking about corporate America in the last podcast.
Yeah.
They didn't have boots on the ground. They didn't know what was going on. But
No.
It looks good on paper.
yeah. I mean, how can you fight a war where when the enemy, when we were into this in Afghanistan, the enemy is firing at you, but you can't fire back.
Yeah.
Now, how the hell are you supposed to win a war in that
Yeah.
circumstances?
My rule of engagement would be,
Pretty much like World War II. You just
carpet
fucking-
bomb destruction.
Exactly.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize how close we come to losing World War II. I mean, we really did. I mean, there was a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff that happened to fall our way,
Yeah, big time.
and we were on the right side of history and on the right side of God, probably.
Yeah.
So it went our way, but wow.
What a battle.
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
That, to me, that war was so fascinating, though, just because it was in such volume.
Mm-hmm.
It was so many countries, so many people, so many civilians. I mean, it was just large scale, everything. I mean, just unbelievable.
It was a whole lot of everything.
It was.
And that's where U.S. manufacturing probably won that war as much as anything for us.
Oh, definitely.
And we had the benefit of none of our factories that got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that we could outproduce anybody in the world in record time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, could you imagine if the U.S. went into war today and they said, well, you're rationed to 3 gallons of gas this week? I mean, the American people alone wouldn't stand for it.
No.
Back then.
Did you realize you can't buy chain made in America now?
Really?
There's not a single company, to my knowledge, according to what a guy told me the other day, you can't buy chain that's made in America now. We can't produce chain.
That'd be real.
It's going to be pretty hard to run a lot of stuff without chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't buy it in the United States anymore. It's assembled here. None of the pieces are from here.
Jesus. These regulations and shit. I mean, I don't understand the American people. I don't get how you keep putting both sides of the aisle of these politicians in office.
Yeah.
I don't fucking get it. And you hear it from everybody. We need term limits, term limits, term limits.
Yeah.
It's called quit voting for the same fucking people over and over and over. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat. Quit voting for these assholes.
Yeah.
Stop.
I don't disagree.
But I don't know. What's your take, Carolyn?
My take.
Yeah, I mean, you're just sitting over here like a bump on a log. I mean, you gotta.
I'm just letting you two do your thing.
It's.
I think it's just insane. I think that probably back during World War II, we were in the beginning stages of politicians taking over everything, and now we're to the point where it's just a political game. Everything is.
It's out of control now. I mean, and if you read your history, there was dirty politics all the way back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there really was.
There always has been, yeah. But even World War II, okay, what was World War II started over, right? Started over Germany invaded Poland.
Yeah.
What did we do with Poland when we got done with World War II? We get to the Russians.
Yeah.
Do you think they were better off with Germany, which had literally every technological advance, food, etc., or communism?
Yes.
And they're probably better off under the Germans.
Yep.
We've started it for one reason. We give it to the worst option in the end.
Yeah.
So, all political.
Yeah, it was. That's for sure. I mean, the Russians were just as ruthless
Oh,
as
they were
anybody
worse.
on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, they had
but the
no regard.
But the
for
difference is the United States had a ton of German heritage and population, right?
Right.
Very little Russian.
Yeah.
So we really, and you're not getting any news out of Russia because they control it all. There was news out of Germany that we knew what was going on. Our ancestors were there, relatives were there, etc. We didn't care what was going on in Russia. They killed way more people. I mean, Stalin killed way more people than Hitler ever thought about killing.
Oh,
But Stalin's revered by a certain factor of people today. And Hitler's a terrible guy. I'm not saying he wasn't, but you know, we criticize him to the nth degree, and Stalin gets propped up. He killed way more people than Hitler ever thought about killing.
Yeah. I wonder back then, you know, you didn't have the media like you do today. You know, I mean, Hitler basically walked into Poland and said, yeah, I'm going to take this now. And that's, I mean, it was literally how it went. Another shot was fired.
Yeah.
It's ours. And I wonder back then how the media portrayed all of that, how it went down. You know, you didn't have such a big slant like you do.
Well, he was selling them on the fact that, well, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to stop. I'm going to take this and I'm going to stop. And they kept believing him.
Yeah.
And, you know, the weird part about World War II for us, or for me anyway, most of that was on horseback originally.
Sure.
I mean, you hear about these epic tank battles later on and whatever, and that's all true.
That was at the end of it.
But at the beginning, a lot of the German forces were on horseback.
Yeah.
You know, it's just hard to imagine that it started on horseback and ended in a panzer, you know.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, the technology advancement through
So
that
quickly.
entire war to a nuclear bomb at the end. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I
one
mean,
hell of an
that's
event.
full circle.
Yeah,
You know.
that's about as full circle as you can get.
As you can get, yeah.
Yes. Now, World War I is a war I don't know much about. I just have never... And that's what pisses me off in school. We learned about fucking Mesopotamia, the fucking Greek goddesses, all this stupid horse shit that didn't amount to nothing. We didn't hear one word about World War I, World War II,
it was pretty
Vietnam,
thin.
none of that.
It's pretty thin.
It's like they started the school year out all the way back at the beginning of
The
time.
Aztecs, yeah, you
Yeah.
learn about all that.
And
Yeah.
they're, by the time the school year's over, they're like, yeah, we're at year 800. It's like, well, you know, that don't do me any good. I don't give a shit what them people did. I mean, seriously.
I'll have Carolyn read a book on it and she'll update you.
Yeah, you get on that.
I read lots of
That's your day tomorrow. From Aztecs to now, you bump us up on up to speed.
Now, the Revolutionary War was pretty cool, which I think I read a stat. Was that only like 25,000 people died in the Revolutionary War? It was a very, very small number. Of course, there wasn't nobody here. You know,
I don't know on that.
it was a very small number. And I'm not saying 25,000 was right, but I mean, it's a very small number for what took place through that entire war.
Yeah, that I couldn't tell you. The Civil War is still the bloodiest one we ever had.
Yeah,
Right?
that
Of course,
was-
every life lost was an American one, so it doubles your
Was that
stats. But
500,000?
Probably something like that.
It was a bunch.
yeah, what you think back, that drastically changed the landscape of this country. You know, think if those people hadn't died and how many more people there would be now.
Right.
If all those males hadn't got killed off.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty on the Civil War. I mean, I got the gist of it, but as far as, you know, certain battles and I mean...
I'm not an expert on it by any means.
No.
Read a book on that too, Keeler.
Yeah. I don't know why, like, Revolutionary War, Civil War, all of them, I've read several books on them, but for some reason there's something about World War II that just fascinates me, and I cannot
Well, World War II,
enough.
you was getting into big technology for the day. You know, prior to that, it was a lot of muskets, a lot of very slow battles.
And I think part of it is our grandparents were alive during World War II.
Right.
Yeah.
So that resonates a little better than stuff prior, right?
Well, and everyone always talks about how World War II was the greatest generation we've ever, you know, and so maybe that's the draw, like why we focus so much. But for me, it's the terrible things that happen. And I know terrible things happen in other wars too.
Yeah, they always do.
But just what came out of World War II, the terribleness of it, it just fascinates
If I'm going to read about war, it's going to be World
me.
War II or Vietnam.
Yeah. Which...
My buddies in college always just make fun of me because I would stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning researching Vietnam, and I don't know why I did it. I just there was probably a 6 or 8 month time frame in there where I could not get enough of that.
Yeah.
And I read everything there was to know about it.
To me, it's funny too, and it was completely by coincidence, totally by chance. My grandpa died in 2013. He was 87, I believe. He was in World War II, and so in 2013, for whatever reason that year, I got real big into our family history, started doing the family tree, Ancestry.com, found out a lot of cool shit.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, Grandpa had told me that he had a whole bunch of old pictures back of his parents and shit going way back. And he said, you know, if you ever want to go through them, let me know. So I did. I took this whole great big giant tub of pictures and was going through them. And it actually, believe it or not, it was the last time I ever talked to the man. It was on Mother's Day in 2013. And it was just by chance. We were sitting there talking, and I was bringing all them pictures back, and there was a big family picture of him when he would have been, I don't know, he's probably 15 years old or whatever. And his oldest brother, we assumed, he couldn't remember, but we assumed it was when his oldest brother was, because him and 3 of his brothers was all in World War II at the same time, and they were all in pretty heavy battle, and they all made it home. But this big family picture, his brother was in his military uniform, and he got to thinking, he said, well, they probably done a family picture just in case, thinking the worst was going to happen, you know. And so we kind of got to talking there, and my grandpa was in the Navy, and that's, you know, just the way it was or whatever. And he said, yeah, you probably didn't know I was in the Marines, did you? I kind of looked at him funny. I said, well, no, I always thought you was in the Navy. And Dad was sitting there and said the same thing. He said, no, I think you're mistaken. He said, you was in the Navy. And Grandpa said, no, I was in the Marines too. And Dad was like, you know, I mean, it's his own dad. I mean, he'd never heard this story. And so I think it was over in Guadalcanal. Basically, they were on this big Navy ship, and the Marines come aboard, and like every person that was in the Navy on that boat, they're like, you guys are no longer in the United States Navy. You're now United States Marines. Get your clothes off. Threw Marines clothes. And Grandpa called it cannon fodder. He said that's what we was. Basically, we were the first ones going in, and you guys are the ones that's going to take the brunt of it. And so he was in the Marines for like a short stint there, like 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it was. But prior to that, he had never spoke of it, never nothing. But he was actually in the Navy and the Marines.
Really?
I didn't know they could do that. But
no.
They switched him up, and then whenever that little tour was over, whatever, then he went back and was in the Navy and finished out his career in the Seabees, or well, not his career, but finished out his in the Seabees, and that was it. So
I'll be darned.
I'd never heard of
amazing.
that, but yeah, it was quite the deal. But I just looked up here, the American Revolutionary War. Throughout the course of the war, an estimated 6,800 Americans were killed in action, 6,100 wounded, and 20,000 taken prisoner. So them's pretty small numbers for
by today's standards.
Yeah.
For taking over the country, which I have no idea what the population of the U.S. would have been then. I mean, 100,000 maybe at the most. I don't know. I mean,
wasn't heavily populated back then.
But I'm always amazed whenever we talk about the Revolutionary War. You always did that post whenever you had Facebook about what all the founding fathers and what their families went through. And I think everyone just thinks, oh, we signed the independence deal and we were done.
Well,
but they don't realize that these families...
To me, it was the 51 people who signed the Declaration of Independence. And the bad, or I shouldn't say the bad part, the part that's so frustrating to me was virtually everybody who signed that had the most to lose.
Yes, for sure.
You know, they were your Bill Gates of the days, your Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
The guys who could have easily said, who gives a shit? They can tax me double what they are now. I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, I'll make it. Who cares?
And virtually every one of them died without a penny to their name because it all went to the war effort, and then Congress wouldn't back the loans once the war was over. And a lot of them lost their entire families, were killed.
Yeah.
Their entire estates were burned. Everything.
Yeah.
And that's what's so aggravating today. Everybody's just such an easy sellout. They're like, well, you know, screw it. I'll just pay it and go on. And it makes it aggravating, you know.
For sure.
But I don't know.
I just think sometimes people gloss over that. Like they think, oh, we just signed the Declaration of Independence and then everything was grand and we were a country. And they don't realize that these families, the people who signed that, they lost everything and then some.
Yeah.
And I always wish, like you said, you know, back when we were in high school, we were never taught that. We never learned any of that. It was just, oh, well, we had the Revolutionary War, and then we signed the Declaration of Independence. Next chapter.
I can say, with my hand on the Bible, never once from the time I was in kindergarten to the time I graduated high school that we ever learned about World War I, World War II, or Vietnam. Ever. Not once. Ever.
We did, but it was like a chapter in a book.
Yeah.
Like it was basically, oh well, you guys kind of already know about this, and it was just glossed over. I learned more about World War II after I got out of school because I was interested in it, and I started researching it and wanted to know more.
But you
about
would spend weeks on the friggin' Roman Empire and all that crap that didn't amount to nothing, and it's
Aztecs and.
So I challenge anybody that's a history teacher.
Lost societies of South America, whatever. And
that's my challenge to any history teacher that's listening to this. You know, teach them about American history. Nobody gives a shit what the Aztecs did or the Roman Empire. How has you knowing what the Roman Empire ever helped you do anything as a diesel mechanic? Not one.
Not much other than history repeats itself, and the Romans got big and they failed, and we're following the same path. They got liberal and goofy, and we're going down the same path.
Yeah, it just...
I think it's important to know history, all history. But sure. I feel like there's so much more focus on
that's what certain
I mean. History.
Once again, we don't put America first. We have to learn about all this other stuff. We learn
about the Greek gods, which are not real.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have any bearing on real life.
Exactly. You know? I mean, the average American would die if they knew, you know, like Singer sewing machines, Rockola jukeboxes, these companies that were making M1 Garands for the war effort. Yeah. You know, of companies you wouldn't even dream about making firearms. Yeah. And they all pulled together and done it. I mean, but I don't know, times have changed, I guess, and nobody cares. Maybe, I don't know what the answer is.
And back then, everybody was behind it, though. It's not like wars in recent times where, you know,
half the people
20% are behind it and the rest of them are like, doesn't affect me. Move on.
Or, you know, we can't go to war, period. You know, whether it's through a 9/11 event or whatever, then, you know, we don't need to. It's just... I wish the U.S. would quit putting their nose in so many wars that don't amount to nothing and pay attention to the ones that do. You know what I mean? It just... We got troops scattered all over this world for no reason. Yeah. I mean, truthfully. But
we could handle it a little better for sure.
Absolutely. But I don't know how we got off on this.
Yeah, I don't know. We started off on Carolyn reading too many books, and now here we are. Way to go, Carolyn.
I didn't even do anything. I just sat here and was listening while you two did your thing. So
I started off with you tearing up the lawnmower, and now here we are.
I didn't tear up any lawnmower. What are you talking about?
Fortunately, the British wore red coats and played the drums before every battle, so we knew where they were.
Yeah, and then when we were hiding in the woods, like, you guys are cheating.
You guys are cheating,
you can't do that.
Wearing camouflage, you traitors.
Yeah.
Now, that is my one struggle. You know, biblically, you're always supposed to follow the government, right?
Right.
Do what the government says. Well, by that rationale, the Revolutionary War is not necessarily on the up and up.
Right.
Now, it did turn into the greatest hotspot for, you know, Christianity and the history of the universe.
Right.
But so it worked out, but
And how
technically we should have followed the king.
how do you? Because that's where we need your wife in here too. She could set us straight.
Oh yeah, she'd have all the stuff for this.
When we start talking, because it does say in the Bible, you're supposed to pay your taxes and kind of follow the government. But like now when we're getting into abortion and gay marriage and all this other stuff that's completely I shouldn't say anti, but against what the Bible says,
Yep.
What do you do there? Are you supposed to just blindly follow it, or where do you take your stand?
That is the big question.
You're supposed to pay your taxes, yet by the same token, tax collectors weren't really revered in the Bible.
Right.
Like, they pretty much beat them down when they had the chance. So, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Once again, Carolyn, find a book.
Yeah, find a book, a.k.a. the Bible. And
Well, so that's the problem, though. You're going to have so many different interpretations about what that means. So
I only need the right one, okay? I don't need this random stuff.
Well, I'm going to say my
way.
way is the right way, but Joe Blow over here is going to say his way is the right way. So that's where you kind of get lost.
Sure.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, moving along. Are you ready for the Easter Bunny, Carolyn? Is Easter Bunny going to find you?
I am the Easter Bunny. Are you kidding me?
So odds are.
Tony, have you prepared for Easter this year? Are you ready for the Easter Bunny?
I guess.
You have no clue what's going on.
He was like a
Christmas.
big box of peeps.
Yep.
No. Do you know what the Easter Bunny's bringing our children this year?
Not a clue.
Exactly.
Same way with Christmas.
Exactly.
She'll come in and rattle off all these gifts that Santa
At
Claus.
Christmas, I'm just as surprised as the kids.
Me too.
Hey, look at
Don't
that.
worry, I took care of it. I got it all figured out.
I
ready to
usually
go.
get a few side gifts on Christmas.
Yep.
The Easter Bunny will find Tony this year.
Once
That's
again,
good
like
to
we
know.
talked a podcast or two ago, thank God for the women, because if it was
Yep,
men
no
running the
doubt.
show, we'll be drinking beer. Here, kids, here's $20.
Yep.
Go have fun.
Yep. Yeah, the way. Yeah.
I gotta get a trash can down here. I've got a case.
You got quite the collection.
I do. I got one hell of a collection of beer cans over here.
Looks good.
Somebody'd like to start
Classy.
the straightforward farming recycling program. We could set you up.
Yep, I should.
We'll get rich off that.
So I guess you guys have all seen via TikTok, Mike Burkhart's coming this fall. Kevin ponied up the money,
Sweet.
so he will be.
That'll be a good time.
It will. Yep, I don't think we'll be doing much beer drinking. I think Mike's pretty straight-laced.
Yeah, we'll still have some fun, though. I'll try to sneak over for a little bit of that.
Oh, yeah. Mike's a good dude. So excited about that.
My plan is to find out what he wants to eat. I've got all sorts of meals planned, so that's my
You better
wheelhouse
hope he likes ground
department.
beef, Carolyn.
Yeah.
I can cook other stuff besides ground
You're
beef.
going to double down, though. You have to make two things otherwise.
I make two things every night anyways. I make him his ground beef meal, and then I eat what I eat. So
Well,
She's more into salads, vegetarian type Brussels sprouts.
I'm not vegetarian.
No, but
I'm into vegetables and protein. That's what I eat.
well,
Simple.
I still don't get
donuts are from potatoes, so do those count? Donuts come from potatoes. If you do them right, do those count?
Donuts are my most favorite thing in the entire world.
I blew my kid's mind today.
Maple squares. That's
I
what I
blew
want.
my kid's mind telling her today that we used to make donuts when I was a kid. My mom, once or twice a year, for sure once,
we
but
make
usually
them at
twice a year,
Christmas.
made donuts. It was a big deal. We froze a bunch of them.
Yep.
So my brother was explaining to the kids how he used to eat frozen donuts because he'd always sneak out there. Mom would eventually go out to this container and it had like one donut left in it, but it's been in the freezer for 3 months.
Yep.
How does it only have one donut in it? My
How
brother
could
been
you eat
sneaking
a
them out there.
frozen donut?
Oh, when it comes to frozen food, my brother's a connoisseur.
That's disgusting.
French fries, donuts, he'll eat them all frozen. Doesn't bother him. Yeah, loves them all.
That grosses me out. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
frozen donuts actually pretty good.
No.
You should try it. They're pretty good.
So on my mom's side of the family, they made donuts every Christmas Eve for like 50 or 55 years
Forever.
straight. I mean, it was forever. And then after Grandma died, Mom's one brother, I think he still carries on the tradition, if I remember right. Or he don't even, okay.
No, I don't
I know he
think he
did for a
does.
little bit, and nonetheless, but Mom has come up here now once or twice on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
To make
2
donuts.
Christmases now we've
Yeah.
done it. We skipped it this last Christmas just because I think
COVID.
no, actually nothing to do with
Yeah.
COVID. There was
Tony had his mask
too many
on
other
and
things
nobody
going
would
on, and
participate.
so we decided to skip it. But yeah.
Yep, you can make homemade donuts.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
They're good. Super good.
Remember when we was in high school, we could find any reason we could to go to the lumber yard to get out of school, to go to the restaurant and get donut holes from your grandma.
Yeah.
Bag full.
Oh my gosh, my grandma made the best donut holes in the entire world. And so, fun fact, my grandma passed away
2016.
5 years ago now. And my mom has her donut hole recipe, and she will not let me see it because when she dies, it's dying with her. So I'll be like, oh, I'm doing a St. Jude fundraiser.
Well,
we want to do
that's
donut
just mean.
holes. She'll make them ahead of time before I come because she does not want me to see that recipe.
That's just mean.
And I'm like, I have
Share
all
with the
of
world.
Grandma's other recipes.
That's
Just
so
give me this
wrong.
recipe.
That's so
Nope.
wrong.
She won't do it, but yeah. And Grandma always made the donut holes. They were like the size of your head.
Yeah, they weren't really
huge.
holes. They were more like
yeah.
they were,
Basketball.
donut fists.
Yeah.
And she sold them for a dozen for $1.25, I think.
Yeah, well, something like that.
So
Wasn't a lot.
stupid cheap, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can get diabetes for less than $5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, easy.
Her cobblers were the same way.
The good
So
old
good.
days.
Yeah. I can't believe you don't have the recipe, Carolyn. I'm a little bit upset.
I
right
don't
now.
have the donut hole recipe, but I have all the other ones.
A little bit
So
upset.
I can
We
do
can
it.
find it. We can get it.
My new goal in
I
life is to get that
actually-
recipe out of your mom
I
without you
promise
finding out about
I
it.
was already.
There's some
Me and my
cash.
cousin have talked about it because her mom has the recipe too. So they're sisters or whatever, and they're like,
Well, you guys are very good snoops.
the
or you'd have
recipe
found about
dies
that.
with us, and I was like, I assure you, we are going to scavenger their house and find
I'll say,
that.
You
and
should
then
you should be over there snooping when they're Easter. If are they coming to your house?
no, we're going to their house.
Oh, well, next time they're gone, you should go over there and snoop that.
They never leave.
There's
Well,
always
you got
something.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's my life goal is to get that recipe.
Is it from Nestle to Hulsa? The little Friends trivia for
French,
you
you
people
just
out there.
butcher everything.
Yeah.
Should I just take a gun over and hold your mom at
She still wouldn't give it to you, I guarantee you.
She'd probably wrestle the gun away from me.
She'd
Yeah.
probably wrestle you to the ground and kick your butt. So
Tony goes down for the sake of donuts.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
I would go down for that recipe. I would. I'm a big recipe person. I gotta have it.
When are you going to do the TikTok cookbook? Everybody's wanting this big
Yeah.
cookbook.
I know.
Come
everyone's-
on, Carolyn.
So I might. It's in the works. I've been thinking about it. I've been writing down some of the. My thing is though, so I do all these recipes on TikTok, and they're like all supper meals or whatever. But my like forte is baking. Like that's where my big thing is, and I haven't done very many baking videos.
So make a baking book.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, come on, Carolyn.
I mean, I could combine everything, but I'm just like every time I post a recipe
A good
online, I'm
cookbook
like,
has a dessert
this
section."
this isn't what Carolyn can really do. Carolyn can do a lot more than this, but I'm just gonna show you what I scrapped together for my family.
They're picky, and they want this, so I'm giving it to them, but I'm making real food for me.
Exactly, that's exactly right. Like everything I make, everyone's always like, "Oh, yuck!"
Maybe you
you
should
and
get-
I'm like, "No, this is the really good stuff."
You should
guys
combine
are
the
eating
two.
crap.
Yeah.
That was like the other day. I posted that TikTok video about the McDonald's drive-through and people with all their stupid orders, and everybody's like, "Oh, coming from the guy that only eats ground beef." I'm like, you realize they don't serve steaks at McDonald's? It's all ground beef. That's why I'm there. But I'm not. I'm really not a picky eater.
Yes, you are.
I just don't deviate. If I go to McDonald's, I'm getting this. If I go to Taco Bell, I'm getting
That's
this.
called a picky eater.
No,
One
it's
of our
not.
best friends growing up, I hated going through the drive-through with him, and you know who I'm talking
Exactly. Plain.
about. He had to change it every freaking time. It's like
Yep.
they've got 15 number 2s sitting there ready to go, but you've got to have yours special.
Yep.
And he couldn't function.
Yep.
Had to have his special. So I was late for curfew once because of him. And I'm never going to, I took a pretty good chewing over that.
Yep.
I'm like, we'd have been home one time if he hadn't had
Exactly.
to have his meal
Exactly.
special made.
The only time that I might deviate is, let's say you go to a bar or a mom and pop restaurant where they physically ask you, what would you like on your
Yes.
cheeseburger? Which 90% of the time it's everything. But if I get like a breaded tenderloin, I always get them plain.
Yes, me too.
But they give you the option. McDonald's will give you the option.
Yeah.
This is the number 2. This is how it comes. So
If you
fucking
don't
order.
like it, order a straight up cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't want the stuff on it, don't get all the stuff on it. Order something else. Yeah, I'm with you there.
My most favorite thing in the entire world is Tony and I took a vacation Gosh, when was that? When we went to New York.
2013.
So
12.
however long ago that was.
2011.
We're on the East Coast, and we go to a restaurant, and they have all the seafood you could imagine. And this guy orders a cheeseburger and fries.
Yep,
And I'm
with
like,
him there.
what in the heck are you doing? Like, I was so mad. I ordered crab cakes. And I was like, why wouldn't you try something different? And he's like,
Yeah, because they're crab cakes and they smell horrible, and I make you sit at a separate table.
They are delicious.
Cake
no, they're
is
not.
made with icing and shit
Yeah.
like that. Not
I
crab.
have
Crab is not a cake.
I've made crab cakes for you before, and you've ate them.
Yeah.
And liked them, so...
I'm not willing to roll the dice when I go to spend money
Yeah.
that could potentially cost me, at a high-end restaurant like that, $15-20 a person.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to roll the dice on something that I'm not going to like.
High end.
Oh, I will.
$20 a person.
I know. He is real.
Yeah, real
When I
romancer.
tell you guys
He's a
his idea
romancer.
of taking me out is to Long John Silver's, I'm not kidding.
Which is the best restaurant on the planet.
No,
Long
no.
John Silver's.
Although it's the
Disgusting.
only original one still on the strip there in Effingham. But when we were on spring break eons ago, everybody's ordering seafood. I'm like, I'm kind of like Tony. I'll just get some, cow meat. And you're not going to try anything like that? Exotic? I'm like, no, I don't really do that. So they talked me into shark. And shark is just like steak. So if you get on the coast, just get some shark. It's pretty much like steak. It's a steak of the sea. So you're good to go. Yeah.
Now, if I go to a place like that, I'll get the big platter that might have alligator. I mean, I'll eat any kind of fish. Crab can go
No,
either
I'm
way. Lobster's pretty
It's got to
decent
walk
if
on the
it's
ground
raw.
like me, otherwise I'm out.
Yeah, so...
You will, so we'll go somewhere and I have to order all the exotic stuff. You order your cheeseburger and fries, but you'll taste test whatever. You're like, oh, well, yeah, I'll try that. You'll
No,
try
no,
it,
no,
but
no.
you don't want to order it yourself.
He doesn't want to waste $20 on it, Carolyn.
Back up.
Exactly.
Because my biggest pet peeve in life is when somebody pulls food up a mic.
Joey doesn't share food.
Exactly. I have never once reached over to your plate and said, oh, here, I want that. You'll be like, here, you want to try
No,
this?
and
I'm like, yeah, I'll try it.
exactly. I'll be like, Tony, you should try this. This is really good because I'm trying to get you to broaden your horizons. That's all I want.
But if you're content with your horizon, you don't have to broaden
That's
it.
exactly what I was getting ready to say. That's
But you're missing out on so much
No,
stuff.
not really.
Yes, you
My favorite is,
are.
well, it tastes like chicken. Well, then why am I ordering frog if it tastes
Yeah.
like chicken? I'll just eat chicken.
exactly. Yeah.
I disagree. You should try some.
Yeah, I don't
That's
have to.
all I'm saying. Just
I don't
try
have
it.
to.
Just try it.
I don't have to.
Try some new stuff.
You're not going to force me.
I'm pretty much tit for tat. Whatever restaurant it is, it's going to be the same
Cheeseburger.
thing at this restaurant.
Yeah.
Now, McDonald's, the only time I'll deviate is it might be a Big Mac one time or a double quarter pounder a different time.
That's all
mix it up.
cheeseburgers.
But it's never a special order, a double quarter pounder with only ketchup or whatever. It's whatever's on the menu. That's what I get, but it might be a different.
I haven't ate at McDonald's since they switched to foreign beef. Roughly 2002, 3. Haven't eaten there since. Haven't had a
So
sandwich there since.
you did your rant the other day
Breakfast,
about people with
but-
their special orders, and I had to laugh because whenever I was in high school, my sister and I would always go to Taco Bell, and I would order whatever the I think they had a special. There was like 3 soft shell taco supremes and a drink, something like that. And she'd be like, "Okay, I need a Diet Coke, no ice," and then she would order her tacos, but no taco meat. They had to have beans in them, and it literally took 15 minutes just
Yeah.
for her to spit out her order. And
She
I was
should
like,
drive
Tony
herself.
would have killed her.
Yeah,
He would
drive
have killed
herself.
her.
Let me run the drive-through window once. Shut the fuck up. Next. I want just be. Shut the fuck up. Next. That's just the way we're going.
Moving on. Yeah.
Can't
You're
have
not
it.
getting it.
Go to Taco Bell, 7 soft shell taco supremes and a Sprite or whatever's closest to it. Yeah,
They don't have a 7.
I know, but so that's up to them to figure out to make it the cheapest. So that's like 2 number 3s plus 1 or piecemeal it. I don't care how you do it. That's just what I want.
What's the one with the? Is it a Crunchwrap Supreme where they put they all folded up in the burrito with a hard shell in the middle?
Could be a chalupa.
No, it's not a chalupa.
I don't know.
It's delicious.
It's,
I think I've made you taste that before. And you
now the
liked
old
it.
China buffet. That's where I get my money back.
Nope, I'm out.
I don't care if it is cat, possum.
I
whatever,
don't need
it's
any
good.
meat, dog. I'm good there.
It's good. I love
I
it.
don't need
How
any meat,
come every
dog.
time I'm on the podcast, we always end up talking about food?
I don't know.
Every single time. We started out with
That's a
book
question only
reading
you
and
can
World War
answer.
II, and now we've circled back to our favorite foods.
Yeah, we just wing it here.
It's because it's my most favorite
Just
thing.
give me a filet mignon.
Food is my
cooked
most
correctly.
favorite thing. I love all things food.
Just give me a filet. I'm good. Not a filet o fish, a filet o
I was going to
cow.
say, I feel like you need to
No.
elaborate.
It doesn't
on
get
that a
any
little
better than filet mignon. Just give me that.
I'm just not into
I'm
steak.
good.
I like the taste of steak. If you're
just
willing to cut it up and
bit.
put it on the
Basically,
black
you're
steak,
telling me you're lazy. You're just too lazy to cut it up.
it takes too long. By the time you saw through every bit of that shit and make it into little bite-sized chunks,
If you're
it's
cooking
gone.
it right, it really doesn't take that long to cut through.
Thank you. He's just he's
fussy.
Exactly. He's fussy. He lived at home way too
I love
long.
a steak. You should go out to eat with my dad, and I'll go eat with Carolyn.
Nice. So your dad's just kind of the cheeseburger guy.
He'll take the ground beef. He'll take the ground steak, which is a hamburger, burnt to shit. That's what he's looking for. Do you have any like old steak that you're going to throw out? Ground it up, burn it to shit. Throw some bacon on it that's sawdust. That's what he'll take. Yeah.
Does he have to put ranch on it like the rest of my
No,
family?
he doesn't put any ranch on it. He's not using any condiments.
Yeah. I don't eat ranch on nothing. My
No.
entire family is, I don't care if it's Captain Crunch.
I'm
Fruit
not
Loops,
sure what
whatever.
ranch tastes like. Don't know. And I'll
missing
never
out.
know. Not
You
gonna
are
do it.
missing. How can
No.
you live in the Midwest and not know about
Don't
ranch?
need it. Don't use it. Ain't happening.
I've always said I think ranch is one of these deals in the Midwest where it's almost like it's like a status. It's like, look at me, I'm wealthy enough to just dump all this shit all over my plate. And to me, it's like that's the most stupid, idiotic
Asinine.
thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
it's
I don't
dumb.
put ranch on anything, including
neither.
salad. And
Yeah,
I love salad,
nope.
but I'm not putting ranch on it.
Blue cheese for me, no ranch.
No, I don't need blue cheese.
No,
that's just day old
disgusting.
cheese. No,
Thank you.
No, you gotta get some Colby Jack on that shit. You don't need any blue cheese. That's
I
terrible.
mean, I don't even know why you cook supper anymore. Why don't you just pour everybody a giant glass of ranch and just let them drink it? Because it kills the taste of everything.
People use French on there. They get from monocles or whatever, and they're splashing that stuff all over everything. My sister-in-law, if you're listening, you started my kids down that path, and I will forever be mad about that.
It's the same way with pizza. Pizza is to have your normal toppings.
You don't
Pepperoni,
need
mushroom
any
sausage.
sauce for pizza. It's already on there.
Yeah, and
You're
we
good.
don't need fucking pineapple and all this other horse shit. That is not how pizza is to be made. It's supposed to have your basics.
For once, if you order a cheese pizza at my pizzeria, I don't own one, but if
My
I own
pizzeria.
if I own a pizzeria, you order a cheese pizza, it comes out and the waiter just punches you right in the face.
Exactly. I agree.
You didn't even order pizza at that point in time.
No.
You get hit in the face, and you're done.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, so come back tomorrow for breakfast. You're just going to get a bowl of milk. No cereal in it. Just
Yeah,
milk.
just get punched in the face.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Cheese pizza's not pizza.
No.
Your options are pepperoni and some other meat, but your base pizza's pepperoni. You're not getting anything below that.
Exactly.
You want cheese pizza? No soup for you. You come back 1 year.
Once again, you're getting pepperoni. You pick off what you
Yes.
don't want.
Yeah, if you don't want the pepperoni, that's your problem.
Yeah.
But you're
Well,
going to have a hard
thank
time because there's going to be lots of
God.
pepperoni on there.
Thank God you guys don't run the fast food places of America.
Oh, but we
No,
will.
it's because we would streamline.
Yes, it would be super efficient, Carolyn.
I've always said,
Super efficient.
all these little mom and pop shops, they know every day at noon that they're going to sell at least 10 cheeseburgers. So at 11:45, just make 10 cheeseburgers and leave them on the grill where they're still warm. Rather than fiddle fuck around, and now I had to wait 25 minutes for my cheeseburger. You know you're going to sell 10, so make 10, and boom. Everybody's in and out. I don't care if it's warmed up a little bit. People eat leftovers all day long, but they go to a restaurant. Oh, I got fucking leftovers.
You don't eat leftovers.
Whatever.
No, you don't. Veto that. So I have leftover sloppy joes in the fridge. Are you going to eat that tomorrow? No.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why would I eat leftovers when I come home to a fresh meal every night? Because then you're going to be pissed. Well, I just made beef and noodles. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to have sloppy
So
joes.
last
raw.
night I didn't have anything made. And I was like, what do you want for supper? And you're like, nah. And
I said,
gave
I
you
will find something, didn't I?
10,000. You did, actually. And I made him 3 grilled cheese sandwiches. But he waited until I got Josie's grilled cheese sandwich done. And he was like, hey, are you already making grilled cheese? After I put everything away. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'll take a few. And I was like, I just put everything away and shut everything off. Sure.
Well, Carolyn, you knew you were going to sell 4 grilled cheese
Exactly.
sandwiches. You should have made them and left them on the
You know
grill
what?
so they were
Actually,
warm.
you are right. Shame on me. Shame on me.
You've been married. It's not your first day, okay?
It isn't. You are absolutely right, actually. I knew better because I looked
It's
at
like
Henry
51st
and I
dates with
said, your dad's going to want grilled cheese sandwiches.
Why do you think they don't sell beer individually? They sell it by the pack, okay?
Yeah.
Exactly. True story.
You're going to want more than one, okay?
I don't know. You're going to have to get with the program. I'm going to let it slide this time.
Yeah. You're going to let it slide.
Yeah, get it together.
Heaven
Well, we're looking
forbid.
for some donut holes, a couple grilled cheese.
I could make
some
I
burnt
could
shit
do this.
hamburger.
I could,
I don't know where you were at on bacon. Were you super crisp, sawdust,
No.
or chewy
No, no.
bacon? Yeah,
Chewy bacon.
I want chewy bacon.
Got to be chewy.
chewy.
I'm my father's son, except for bacon. My dad likes it. When you pick it up, it should break. And at that point in time, I'll eat it, but I'm not happy about
That's
it.
basically a rod of bacon
That's
bits.
that's bacon bits. Yeah, yeah. I want it a little chewy.
No, it's got to be very chewy. The chewier, the better. I want it to be like bubble gum, where it takes me like 5 minutes to get
So
one
how do you
piece
like your eggs?
scrambled. It's the only way to eat it.
How do you like your eggs, Nick?
Fertilized.
Yeah.
Like real quick.
I'm joking. Over easy or scrambled. I don't care which.
Okay.
I mix
Okay,
them.
So, whenever
so-
I worked at the restaurant,
Well, no,
whenever
I got a very important question.
no. Go ahead.
so-
you first.
So I will eat eggs the other way. I just never do, and I haven't in like 25 years. I always eat them scrambled. So what is an over easy egg? How is that made? What's it look like?
You got to be freaking kidding me.
No,
Oh my God.
I swear on
I'm
my
glad
life.
you
Holy
said
shit.
it, Nick, because I was like, what the
Wow.
heck?
I
Are
am
you serious?
dead
We've been
serious.
friends for
Wait,
a long
what?
time.
What
for
does
real,
that
this
mean?
is a real question.
I am
You put it in
dead
a skillet. You let it cook most of the way. You flip it over
So
easy.
the yolk will still be runny.
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever you cook that.
I like
You can,
egg yolks.
you
Yep.
can dip your toast in it.
So
Or
what's
your
the
bacon.
what's the other way then?
So you can have eggs over easy, which is what I just described. You can
Yep.
have eggs hard, which is where you cook the yolk. So you're gonna take your egg, put it in your pan, and you're gonna flip it.
Wasn't that be pretty much scrambled though?
No,
No.
because you're not scrambling it. Because your yolk is still
Yeah, the yolk.
definable. I guess is
Yeah.
the way you can still see it.
Okay.
Like it.
Or you
it's
can have
just-
sunny side up.
I don't cook Sunday night.
What's
I don't
that
cook
mean?
sunny side up. Well, that's where you put
That's-
it in there and you just leave it.
You don't ever
still-
flip it.
yeah, you
just
never flip it.
Leave it in the pan.
So it looks like a sun.
Yes.
Interesting. No, I always wondered that because I only eat egg scrambled. I didn't know.
Oh my god.
Wow. I can't believe we've made it 47 years without me knowing this.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I feel like
He's a
I feel like I'm
child.
coming over for breakfast
Child.
tomorrow. we're gonna lay these things out to Tony.
I had no clue. I really didn't. I had no clue.
Tomorrow it's steak and over easy eggs for breakfast.
Okay.
Carolyn.
No, sunny side out. We're doing sunny side
Yeah,
out.
yeah. We'll blow his mind with sunny side up.
We've been married 15, 16 years. Have you ever seen me eat anything besides a scrambled egg? Exactly.
Because that's all I've ever made you.
That's because you asked, and that's what I.
And you're like, well, because 15 years ago I made eggs and I was like, how do you like your eggs? And you said scrambled, so I've just always done them scrambled.
I
Do you
switch
see,
it up.
Never
do you
make
see
you
that
try
I
anything.
do not deviate?
I switch it up. The key to a good scrambled egg is to put the cheese in at the end. If you don't want to put it in
No, we
early,
don't
you
put
put it in at
Wait,
the
hold
end.
the phone. You put cheese in your eggs?
Nope, he doesn't like cheese.
What do you mean I don't like cheese? I eat cheese on everything.
But you don't eat cheese on your eggs.
Nobody's ever
No,
put cheese
no,
on
no. You
eggs?
don't put it. Well, I put them on my over easy eggs. I put cheese over the top when I'm done.
No.
But
That's a thing.
I only do that with an egg sandwich.
Nobody has ever put cheese on eggs for me. I'm intrigued by this.
Carolyn, you're dropping the ball again. Scrambled eggs,
See?
you put cheese in at the end. At the end.
Time
if you put it in
out.
early, it's a no-go.
The guy
You
who
wanna
does
put it in
not
at the end.
deviate from anything, I was like, if I put
Well,
cheese on
you're
this,
not
he's gonna
helping him
freak
out here,
out.
Carolyn.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Yes.
Cheese goes on everything.
Exactly.
Have you ever had an omelet?
Not that I know of.
Oh my God. What dimension
Where-
are you guys living in?
Where would I have
This
had
is a
an
totally
omelet?
separate world.
You've never ever had an omelet.
I live 2 miles from you. It's like I live in a totally different world.
So an omelet is like hash browns mixed
Go
in
ahead.
with your eggs, right?
No.
No, that's a skillet, my friend. That's a skillet.
An omelet is where you take scrambled eggs and then you put in, like, you can put in
Ham,
meat,
peppers.
vegetables,
Yeah.
and then you flip it over and you put
Clearly,
cheese.
you haven't had one.
You put cheese with it, and you've seen me eat them before.
No, I've heard of them. I've never had one. I didn't.
Oh my
Oh my gosh. It's like the guy's driving Chevy trucks. He's heard of Ford, but he's never seen one. This is unbelievable to me.
But cheese on eggs is very intriguing because I love cheese. I'll eat shredded cheese.
So scrambled eggs, you throw the cheese in at the end?
Yes. Okay, so do you use shredded or sliced?
Shredded.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't use sliced. That's just wrong.
You use sliced if you work at a restaurant.
You only use sliced if you're putting it on, if you're making it into a sandwich. Yeah. Then you could use sliced.
Yes.
She buys them big blocks of cheese. I'll eat the whole block in one sitting.
Oh, me too.
And that's the best on a cheeseburger, when you can slice it real thick.
The thing about cheese is, the thicker you slice it, the difference it tastes. I like it sliced thin, but a lot of it. I'll eat the whole block, but I want to slice it thin.
No. Thicker than that.
Oh, no. I like
thicker. To me, there's nothing better than a nice hot cheeseburger with a giant, like an inch thick piece of cheese where the cheese is a little bit cold when you bite into it. That's perfect. Phenomenal.
I'm not taking a lot of advice from
You're
the guy.
rethinking your friendship with him, aren't you?
I mean, this guy didn't know over easy eggs existed. He didn't know you could put cheese on eggs. Just take an over easy egg, which you're obviously not eating, but over easy egg and sprinkle shredded cheese on it. Voila. You're good to go.
I knew over easy eggs existed. I didn't know what that meant.
Holy cow. So,
how did you not know what that meant?
Clear your schedule in the morning. I'm calling you in the morning. We're out to get off the phone with his mom.
How would I have known what it meant?
I don't know. You only grew up in America?
I've just always ate scrambled eggs since I was a little kid.
And without cheese, I don't understand this.
Even our kids know about over easy eggs and scrambled eggs with cheese and everything.
You're the cook. You're the one bitching at me. You're the cook.
Yeah.
But I do it right in front of you. I do it. I've done cheese on eggs with the kids, and you were right there, and you just didn't pay attention.
I don't even know what to say. Yeah, cheese on eggs is phenomenal.
All right, so
you know what's even better? If you can put a little ham in there, a little ham, egg, and cheese. Good to go.
Actually,
deli ham.
Actually, I'm going to blow your guys' minds, and you guys are going to kick me out of the podcast right now. The best thing in the entire world. Have you ever had a Western omelet?
Now, see, here we go. We're getting into this whole McDonald's deal. The omelet ain't good enough. Now we got to fucking change it.
You don't even know what an omelet is, so let her speak.
You get out. Do you know what a Western omelet is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Western omelet, scrambled eggs, peppers, cheese.
Yeah, I love peppers.
Put a little salsa on top of that. It's
I can't
amazing.
Do this.
No, it's good. It is so good. You need to try it.
I appreciate that. I'm not a salsa. Eggs are good by themselves. I don't need to put sauce on them.
I know, but there's...
Here's my thing about food, Carolyn, and I avoid condiments at all costs because condiments are a lot of work. Nothing burns my ass more than somebody who could eat normal food, but then they have all these freaking condiments that make it uneatable in a vehicle while you're moving, which is why Hardee's has failed and they're not as successful as McDonald's. You order both their sandwiches. Hardee's is better, but the shit is all over you because it's falling off in every direction. McDonald's has got like glue on theirs. They got some super glue. They're sticking all that shit together so it never falls off while you're driving. I like salsa and I like chips. I don't need salsa on my eggs. Eggs are good by themselves. That's my wife.
You should try it.
I eat 3 eggs a day, every day. Have for years. It appalls my family. I eat 3 eggs a day, every day.
You should try it. My most favorite omelet in the entire world is I take eggs, peppers, mushrooms, do all of that, and then I put a little avocado on top.
No, I don't need that. I just need the eggs.
This whole cooking thing, I can't figure it out because I've done very, very little cooking in the kitchen. So
that's pretty obvious.
A week or two ago when we had our big Zoom meeting, and it was like anybody who's anybody on TikTok. I mean, it was me and Doug Yeager and Clint Yeager and Kurt Luca and COVID. I mean, there must have been 15 of us on there. And they was having their big farm talk cook-off.
Yeah, you're not winning that.
Well, they're all like, we put all this shit on the smoker for 6 hours here and 8 hours here and flip it here and this and that. I'm like, how does it take 10 hours to cook meat fucking rare? I don't get that. To me, a guy that's eating it well done, I can totally see that. You're eating it fucking rare. What is taking so long?
Low and slow, Tony. Low and slow.
Low and slow.
I don't
and that's the way you get the best flavor.
See, to me, that is so inefficient that I can't eat it.
No, here's the beauty to the smoker, though, Tony. And you can appreciate this. I don't do it so much now, but where we used to live, I don't know why. I grilled and I smoked more there for sure. Throw some whatever meat on the smoker. and then go do something else. Might mow the yard, might clean the barn, whatever you want to do. When you're done, nothing's burnt. It's done. It's ready to eat. You don't have to manage it. You don't have to look at it. It's just there. You throw something on the grill, you got to manage that.
Yeah,
That's going to require a minimum of 5 beers.
Sure.
So if it's like 10 o'clock on a Sunday, I'm not diving into 5 beers just yet.
Right.
Throw it on a smoker, you're good to go.
Makes sense, I guess, but I just couldn't figure out why they were taking all day to cook meat rare.
Well, low and slow.
This is why you
The
don't
longer
cook.
you cook it and the slower you cook it, the better
how
it is.
small is the fire in this thing that you got going?
Well, you're
But
just
the
cooking it
thing
with
is,
smoke.
though,
You're just cooking it. Imagine
thinking
you
of-
with your cheeseburger cooking it with your cigarette.
Apparently.
It takes a while, but you'll get it there eventually.
It's like, I would like this shit to be done before I start drawing my goddamn Social Security, and you guys are eating it fucking rare.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You've got a whole new world to expand in now that,
I know, now
you
that-
haven't seen an egg cooked correctly.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know what to
make
tell
him
you.
all the eggs and be like, taste test these. and see
But
what you
you're
think.
totally misrepresenting. I've heard of over easy eggs. I'm not like a hermit. I've
What do you
heard
mean
of
heard of? I have
You
heard
just
of.
asked me how to cook over easy eggs. I'm not misrepresenting anything.
That's like me saying I've heard of oxygen, but I haven't. I don't know anything about it. I have heard of Austin Martin cars, but I don't own one.
It wouldn't be no different if you heard that I've got a new John Deere planter, but you don't know nothing about it or how to use it. It's the same thing. I've heard.
And
I
go
just
with
didn't
no.
know. I didn't know how they were made. I didn't know what that
They're
meant.
over
Easy.
easy.
Take it easy. Take
It
it easy.
sounds kind of hard to me, though.
It's really not that hard.
It's not that hard.
You have
know
a
what
you
you're
have
doing.
a,
It's not that
a
hard.
griddle outside. Just saw it. Just flip them over.
He doesn't even know how to work that griddle. Are you kidding me? That's my job.
We should try to cook a frozen pizza.
My wife is
No.
spoiled. My wife's spoiled.
She is.
I love to cook.
Does she cook much, your wife?
Yeah, she cooks a lot, but I prefer to cook.
Yeah.
I don't like to do dishes very well,
Don't blame you.
which is why paper plates were invented and plastic cups.
That's what I mean.
But
She
I love to
hates
cook.
dishes, always
I love to cook.
talking about doing. I'm like, get paper plates.
Yeah.
I'm not about going green. I have no problem filling up landfills.
Somebody's got to work those
No,
sawmills.
it's a waste. I'm not going to do that. No,
Those people got to get paid too.
And
it's a waste.
I thought of
No,
this
it's not.
today, sitting in the McDonald's drive-through line, because I went to McDonald's again, even though I was so pissed.
Even though you were so mad, there he is again in that line.
Because you won't make me a lunch to take, so I got to go to McDonald's. So,
Oh my
anyway,
gosh. Oh,
I found a way to beat this mask deal. It hit me today like a light bulb. We got to sell this whole mask deal, COVID deal, as we are causing so many greenhouse gas emissions, and we have to open shit back up because McDonald's has been lined up around the fucking building for months on end.
That is the busiest McDonald's in the history of the world.
So we have to
That
sell
place
it
is swamped all the
nationwide
time.
as we are causing so many fucking carbon, or such a huge carbon footprint. That
if
we
you're in
have to
your
open-
Tesla, it'd have been fine, Tony.
That's true, but nobody around here's got one. So we are just pumping tons and tons of CO2 into the atmosphere because we can't go inside, so we got to sit in our car and leave it run while we make the 30-minute trek around the building. I could have drastically reduced my carbon footprint if I could have went inside.
I'm ashamed
So
to
this
admit
is our
this,
way
but I
to-
had the same exact thought. I was like,
Buy him a
why-
barbecue.
Why are we're so worried about all the things, but here we are sitting and drive up for
Right.
an hour.
So if
All the CO2
if we can
emissions.
convince these people that we're causing a humongous carbon footprint and pets might carry COVID and you're gonna have to shoot your dog, then it's fuck. We're open for good. Then I guarantee you, if we got to shoot little Fifi, your mom and dad's laying in the nursing home dying. We won't go see them, but Fifi needs cataract surgery in fucking Connecticut. We'll spend the $10,000 to take the little dog there. So we got to
There's
get
some
people
truth in
convinced that pets and the carbon footprint, and we'll have this shit back open in no time. I'm telling you. So that's my new campaign slogan.
I feel like you should go with that.
I think so
Definitely.
too.
Scrambled eggs for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a really good story about the whole egg thing, and then
It's
I'm
'cause you're
just-
too drunk.
I'm so blown away that you didn't know what over easy eggs were.
I didn't know.
I can't.
Well, enough making fun of me and this whole over easy egg thing. I knew what they were. I just didn't know how they were made. It's no different than a fucking Bic ink pen. You know what it is, but you just don't know how it's made. Same thing.
Not really.
It's your story, Tony.
Yeah,
Tell it how you
tell
like
it
it.
how you want.
I don't know. We're going to have to shift gears and get into something else. I'm taking a beating here.
I'm trying to think what gears we need to shift to. What
What
do we need to go to
other
next?
food do you not know about that's pretty commonplace in the world?
Do you know how to make toast?
I'm not real handy inside the house. I can fix stuff as far as mechanical stuff, but as far as food, the kitchen, better.
He always makes fun of me because he'll be talking about something farming and he'll look at me like, well, why didn't you know that? That was the stupidest thing in the entire world. And I'm like, I could give you a recipe and turn you loose in my kitchen and you still wouldn't know what to do.
It's because you get things totally backward. You just asked me yesterday, so are you getting nervous about harvest starting? I'm like, no, because that's several
No,
months
I
off.
said planting. I said planting.
After you corrected yourself.
See, that's where you at least have an out. That's where I'm screwed 6 ways from Sunday because my wife knows all about all that. Knows more about me in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I'm done every which direction I turn. Comes to dealership stuff, she's better on that. She's got it all. I got nothing.
We got to get your wife on one of these podcasts.
We'll have to do them early in the evening. She can't stay up past 8:30, so we'll have to do them early in the evening.
Yeah, she's kind of a lightweight.
Yeah.
Pretty much after 8 o'clock, she's done.
Yeah, it's countdown. She's just waiting for the kids to go to bed so she can too. Well,
yeah, that's all part of getting old, I guess.
Yeah, she is old.
I wish I had that. I just don't have it. Like, I was super excited. I've been trying, so I got a new Fitbit watch, and it's been telling me my sleep score.
Calm down. Your sleep score.
Easy there, party animal. Beastie Boys are going to make a song about you.
No shit.
No sleep till Fitbit.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like telling me my score, and I'm like, I need to go to bed earlier. So I was super excited because I went to bed at 11:30 the other night, which is kind of early for me.
That's what I love about your competitiveness.
No.
You're trying to outsleep your previous score.
I am.
That's what I love about you.
I want you to know that every single day I wake up and I look at my Fitbit score for my sleep, my heart rate, and I'm like, okay, what can I do to beat this today? What am I going to do to make this better than yesterday?
Freezy eggs instead of scrambled, Carolyn. That's what you're going to do with cheese on them.
That's what Tony's going to do.
Here, like a month ago, she's like, do you know what my heart rate got down to last night while I was sleeping? I'm like, no clue.
I wasn't watching you.
I don't even know what a normal heart rate is. She's like, you got down to 37. I'm like, oh, well, what's that mean? I guess that's like borderline clinically dead. I don't know.
Pretty much.
She's all jacked up because her heart rate dropped way low.
No, I was excited about it because that's my goal. Like, I want to get my resting heart rate to be as low as possible because that means you're healthy.
You ever seen Flatliners?
Actually, no, I haven't.
I haven't either. I just know it.
Doesn't have Kevin Bacon in it.
Kiefer Sutherland, Julie Roberts. It's an old movie. That was like one of the first movies Julie Roberts ever done.
I was flipping through and 48 Hours was on.
Eddie Murphy?
Yes. Back when Eddie Murphy was funny.
You know, it has been forever since I've actually seen a good movie, like a new movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're not as good as the old ones.
They're not. They just don't. They don't make them like they used to.
Well,
Are you talking about Titanic, Tony? Let's talk about Titanic. Tony's obsessed.
How many different ways could a jack fit on that piece of wood?
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about that. Because
Exactly.
every single time Titanic's on TV, there's Tony glued to the TV, and I'm like, we've seen this 1,000 times.
My grandma had
Rose
this book.
should have moved over.
Yeah, my grandma had this old book, and I found it on the internet at some point in time, and it's worth a ton of money. And I cannot find it. I had it at one time. It was in bad condition, but the ones that are in still good condition are worth a lot of money. It was a phenomenal Titanic book. I'll try to dig it out, see if I can find it or find a copy of it. I love all things Titanic.
So when Titanic come out, that was in 1997, biggest movie of the year by far. I'd never seen that movie till probably 6-7 years ago, roughly. I'd never seen it. Now I watch it every time it comes on TV. I've seen it several times. But it's like the meme that I saw, though, with Jack in the water freezing from the Midwest. Wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for the wind.
You sent me that meme, and I laughed. I laughed for like 10 days over that.
Yeah. My wife
Just
had
move
this,
over, Rose.
Yeah, my wife had this like 25 ways Jack could have fit on this piece of wood if Rose would have been cooperative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was so much wreckage floating. All I had to do was grab something. If Rose wouldn't move her butt over.
I don't understand how she survived. She was literally a block of ice. Her hair was froze. Everything.
Well, she had a whistle.
It's a movie, Tony. It's a movie.
Did you realize that they did some investigation on the Titanic and the pool's still full?
She don't get it.
Because it's underwater.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I was like, what?
Exactly.
Iceberg right ahead.
I felt like you were trying to pull something over me. I was like, yeah.
No,
'cause
it was a scandal. It was a totally different ship. It wasn't even the Titanic.
Yep, they was trying to set a record, and that they did.
There's a lot
no
of
doubt.
conspiracies about that, though.
Oh yeah,
Dive into those.
I can be a borderline conspiracy theorist on some stuff like JFK, some big ticket stuff, but when they get to the Titanic, it's like, yeah, I'm out. I can't get on board.
Oh no, come on.
I can't get on board.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. A guy that doesn't know how over easy eggs are made, I don't know how you dive into the bowels of the Titanic.
Yeah. The RNA.
You should dive into it. There's a lot of interesting things that went on with the
There
Titanic.
are. Yeah.
Let's think about all the big people that were on the Titanic.
And all the big people that didn't get on it.
Exactly. Last minute.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
So you guys think they crashed this fucker on purpose?
Maybe.
Yeah. It's hard to
I
say,
think there
Jamie.
was a lot to gain by the Titanic crashing.
Yeah.
Do you think back then people had big signs up that said Titanic was an inside job?
No.
For the first time in history, fire melted steel.
Only in the 21st century did we come out with big signs that said all of those things.
Okay. Got you.
So, conspiracy theorists, the whole phrase with that, it's just the government's way
Well,
of saying
the
people
whole-
who think outside the box are crazy.
The whole
Yeah.
JFK thing ruined the word conspiracy.
Right.
Which I'm convinced this wasn't just some nut that shot him from the window.
Absolutely not.
That's why the files are sealed. But, you know, whatever.
And even when they were supposed to release them, when was that? Like a year ago? A couple years ago?
No, I thought it wasn't until like 2030. I don't know.
Well, I thought they resealed them.
I don't know. They could have. I don't know. But, yeah, that whole deal was a sham from top to bottom. And there's been other stuff. You know, you read stuff on 9/11. I'm not saying that the government actually did it. I'm not saying they didn't know about it. You know, like World War II. You know,
I think they kinda knew
They
what
pretty
was
much
going on.
knew what was going down. And I don't know. It's one of them weird deals.
I think, and this is where people are going to think I'm completely crazy, and I promise I'm not, but I think that sometimes you need to think outside the box. There's a lot more
Oh, for
going
sure.
on than the government is telling us.
Jeffrey Epstein is not dead.
No, but he did not kill himself. I will assure you of that.
Yeah, that's another whole...
Yeah, that's a big rabbit hole.
That's
We
a
better not go down
No,
that one.
that's like 4 podcasts in a row there. If we went down that rabbit hole.
If we want to get on conspiracy theorists, I mean, we could go for
That's a
days.
totally different podcast. We're farm talking it over here.
Have we actually talked anything farming?
No, just you not knowing about eggs.
We got started talking about me reading books, and then it winded into food and how you don't know anything about eggs at all. Like, you can't put cheese on eggs. How did you not know that?
Yeah.
Well, I assumed you could. I just never thought about doing it.
How do you not think
Once
about putting
again-
cheese on anything? I mean, cheese goes good on almost
exactly.
anything. Yeah,
Every time I make something, I'm like, this would be better with cheese.
with cheese. Yeah,
Let's throw some cheese on
But
it.
she knows not to deviate.
put some cheese on.
I
it.
do, actually. He gets real angry whenever I try something new. And he's like, what did you do different? And I was like, well, I just tried something new. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. He gets real angry.
That I could see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not into the
Heaven
open chain.
forbid I do something besides a cheeseburger and fries for supper.
Hey, we
Whoa.
venture out and do grilled cheese and frozen pizzas and stuff.
Actually, the one good thing, like, I'm super proud of him for doing is whenever I do hibachi on the grill and I do the veggies and rice and shrimp, and he'll eat that, and I'm just so excited that he branched out. He tried it. Are you ready for sushi?
Where you
yet?
at of pizza rolls?
I'm not doing sushi. I don't give a
No,
shit
I'm out on that.
what
What?
comes
Have
of
you
it.
ever even tried it?
I'm not trying.
Not even gonna consider trying it.
Why?
I don't eat.
It's
So-
delicious.
I don't eat raw stuff.
I
It's
don't eat
delicious.
anything raw. And does it walk on the ground like me? No. If it doesn't walk on the ground like me, then I'm out.
That's sad.
I like fish. I'm just not eating the Japanese Honda version of fish. I'm not doing it.
No, me
You should
either.
try it. It's really good.
No.
How can it be good?
Deep fried, maybe. You know, Schwann's puts them in these nice little sticks. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Does the Schwann's man still come around?
Yeah.
No
yeah,
kidding.
they do.
It'll cost you an arm. and a
Yeah,
leg,
you
but-
with your $1,400 stimulus, you can get like 2 bags of something.
No kidding.
Exactly.
That was
Maybe
all
3.
That was all the rage when I was a kid.
No,
it was
Schwann's
expensive then.
Schwann's are still good. It's just expensive. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I will never forget when
But they're
I was
killing
a
it in the
kid.
COVID deal because nobody can go outside the grocery shop.
sure.
So that's the biggest business they've ever had.
So whenever I was a kid, the Swans guy always
Schwann.
Schwans. I always said Swans. So
Well, you said it wrong, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always sold these ice cream bars, and they were square.
They're kind of known for their ice cream.
Yeah, I know that. Anyhow, he had these ice cream bars. Never mind. I don't even tell my story
No,
now.
go ahead. Ice cream bars. You like
Nick's
them?
giving me
Go-
too much
no,
head.
go ahead. You like the ice cream bars?
Anyhow,
from
the ice cream
Schwann,
bars
man.
from the Schwann's man, and they were dipped in chocolate or whatever, but you could pick different flavors. Like you could have a strawberry ice cream or chocolate.
A minute ago they were dipped in chocolate. Now they're different flavors.
But it was
Yeah, you lost me.
it was like you could have a vanilla ice cream square dipped in chocolate, or you could have a chocolate
Okay.
ice cream square dipped in chocolate, or you could have a
Because once again,
strawberry.
somebody deviated from the fucking original vanilla, and now we got to recreate the whole truck.
Yep.
Shut up! You don't eat vanilla ice cream. You love cookie dough and Reese's peanut butter cup more than anybody I know.
It's actually more the chocolate syrup. The ice cream is only the
We
reason.
always
the two
got
dumplings-
Schwann ice cream, but my dad always mandated butter pecan. And butter pecan ice cream is great if you could leave out the pecans. I just want the butter.
Exactly.
Just give me the
I hate
butter.
nuts. Oh my gosh, I hate nuts.
Well, how can anybody not like nuts? That just
I don't like
baffles me.
I don't like them. Nope. I love peanut butter, but it's a
So you
texture
don't
thing.
eat candy corn or peanuts?
Yes.
That's a nut.
That's the only time I'll eat a nut. How have we been together this long and you don't know that?
I don't know.
I don't know, Margot.
You're weird, is what I'm starting to learn.
I'm weird. You don't even know what an over easy egg is. Come on.
She has a point.
I do now.
Yeah.
Now that we
Yeah, 20 minutes after we talked about it.
now
Yeah.
that we educated you on the difference in eggs, you can get them a different way than scrambled.
We used to get the push-ups. From
I
Schwann, man.
did,
Yeah,
yes.
push-ups are good.
The orange ones.
I'm not
sure.
into I don't like orange pop. I don't like orange ice cream, and none of the orange. Nah, I'm out.
The dreamsicle, creamsicle, whatever it was.
For sure. All good.
Loved it. Love it.
Yeah, not this.
All
guy.
Schwann stuff's good.
It is. It really is. They used to do like I think they called it a pizza burger, and so it was a hamburger, but on top of it they would have a layer of
See, once
mozzarella.
again, we've just screwed up the whole pizza deal. We just talked about this.
It was a layer of mozzarella cheese and a little bit of spaghetti sauce, and it was so good.
I figured
Best chicken patties ever.
I figured all these grocery pickup pretty much negated. I mean, hell, they deliver groceries now in the cities.
Schwann been doing that for years. They're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
The problem is though, like, so we live out in the middle of nowhere. I would have to call them to tell them, hey, you need to stop by my house.
It's called online ordering, Carolyn.
But I'm not going to do that.
If it's
Because you don't have the internet or what?
Well, because why would I go to Schwann's whenever I can just go to Aldi's and get the same thing?
Because their stuff is better. It's premium.
It sounds like it's really
It
expensive.
sounds like a lot of work, though.
It's the Case IH when you're buying the John Deere, Carolyn. You could be getting the
That's
real
a lot of
shit.
work.
No, it's not. They actually bring it to your house. You don't have to go anywhere.
I know,
You're
but
not
I have
getting all
to.
these
I have
deliveries
to
from here.
initiate the call, and then there's
No,
the
it's
whole,
not a call. It's
they
just
show
online.
up, and
It's
I don't
online.
really want anything
Hey,
that
I tell you
week.
what,
But then I
tomorrow-
feel obligated to buy something.
Tomorrow, you read 1,000 pages instead of 1,100. Put an online order in. Maybe get Tony some over easy eggs with some freaking cheese on them.
Yeah.
Actually, we're out of eggs.
What do you think of that shit? Well, we'll have, what, a dozen more tomorrow when the chickens lay them.
Yeah.
So I moved another hay bale in the barn. So our chickens get out. I'm going to redo this fence as soon as I tear the pad of concrete out beside it. So I picked up another bale of hay 2 nights ago. There must have been 40 fucking eggs in there. Because these hens, they fly out and they lay them. Well, you can't eat them because, fuck, who knows how long they've been there.
Yeah, no doubt.
There was a nest of eggs. That son of a bitch was a 2 foot by 2 foot.
My daughter can test
This
them
is
for you.
really, really like saddening me.
I got to get that pin done. It's probably going to have to be after farmer time, unless it sets in rain. All I got to do is set 4 posts. And
so is this something that I need to do? Like,
you can if you want to.
Is this just something I need to go over?
But I've got to get that pad of concrete busted out so I can extend the pin. But to me, chickens are one thing. In the event of a complete, total meltdown, that's like the gift that just keeps on giving. Just every day you got food.
Yes, but they are dumb.
Chickens will eat anything. If you ever want to get rid of a dead body...
chickens are the dumbest, smartest animal you will ever meet in your life. They're so stupid, but they're smart at the same time because they know how to do all the things.
They're worse than hogs, though. If you want to get rid of a dead body, throw it in a chicken pen. There will be nothing left. Throw a snake in there. They will demolish a snake in like 30 seconds.
And I've seen them do it.
I mean, gone. I have yet to find anything, and I mean anything, a chicken won't eat. And I don't care from pumpkins to...
Well, you can't feed them.
They'll eat themselves. They're cannibals.
They will, actually. You can't do avocados. That's poisonous to them.
But they'll still eat it. They're just killing.
It's poisonous, though.
No, I'm just saying I ain't found nothing they won't eat. They're a weird animal.
What if they'll eat scrambled eggs with cheese on them?
They will. I assure you they will.
I bet they won't eat over.
I will. So,
Yes,
like, we have a little... I keep a bucket on the counter, like scraps, whatever. So whenever I cut up vegetables, anything, I throw it in there, and Henry will feed it to the chickens at night or whatever. And I've thrown eggshells and
they love eggshells.
They love eggs.
A cracked egg.
If you bust an egg in their
whatever,
pen,
they eat all that. They just go completely crazy.
So get this: when we moved here, before we tore what we called the old garage down, they had chickens in here, and so they took all their chickens when they left, and we brought our chickens in, and so all of our chickens were brown. We had no other kind, and it was 2 weeks to the day after we moved in, and I went in to gather the eggs that night, and I could hear something scratching on the wall. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I got to looking around, couldn't find nothing. Well, I finally went over to the wall, and there was a piece of plywood they'd screwed up to the wall. So imagine a wall in your house, but the outside siding of your house was on, but the 2x4s were exposed inside the house. And then you just laid a piece of plywood up inside the house and screwed it over them. So there was a little pocket in there. You could reach down over the plywood. So I looked down in there, and there's a chicken inside there. She'd got up in there, and it wasn't ours because we didn't have any colored chickens. This was a black and white chicken. Mm-hmm. She'd been in there for 2 weeks, and she would lay an egg, and then she would back up and break the egg and eat it. And then she would lay an egg and then back up and eat it. And she'd been there for 2 weeks. This was in July. I mean, the heat of the summer by the time I found her, because by the time everybody got all their shit switched around. And how she ever lived that long is beyond me. But that's what she
proves eggs are good for you.
She would lay an
Somebody
egg.
probably put some cheese on them.
Break it and eat it. Lay an egg, break it and eat it. So to me, it's like,
do you think she liked her eggs scrambled or greasy?
I think at that point she didn't really care.
Benedict. Eggs Benedict.
Oh, Benedict. Have you ever had an egg Benedict?
What the hell does that mean?
Nah, that's a little too raw for me.
So an egg Benedict is where they take it and I want to say they put it's almost like hard boiled.
Yeah,
I want to say. It's not hard boiled, but it kind of is, and they kind of put it in a little dish like this. I know the podcast people can't see me doing this, but they put the whole but they put the egg almost whole in like not a bowl, but I don't know
if I've ever had a hard-boiled egg.
What? You've never had a hard-boiled egg?
You've never ate a hard-boiled egg?
Something about the smell of them. I don't know that I've ever ate one.
Oh my goodness.
We're out. We're done.
I'm not saying I haven't. I don't think I have. Have you ever seen me eat one?
I'm going to call it night tonight. I'm done. I can't do
I'm going to call his mom in the morning.
What was your mom thinking?
I don't know.
I know you had them because your brother eats them.
Do you eat hard-boiled eggs?
Absolutely.
I do. I eat 2 hard-boiled eggs every single morning for breakfast. That's my breakfast. Because the long-standing joke is my grandpa always ate 2 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, and he'd take his shell from his egg and just throw it on the floorboard of his truck.
Huh.
And so I always tell everybody, I'm like...
What do they taste like?
Delicious.
Egg.
They're great. You just put a little salt on them. You're good.
A little salt, you're good.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't think
Oh
I
my
can.
gosh.
run, they're
I'm
really
going
good.
to feed him all the eggs
Oh my
tomorrow.
goodness! Tomorrow you're
Oh my
having eggs
goodness.
all day.
Yeah, you're
It's
eating
Easter,
nothing.
you're gonna
We're
eat
going to
nothing but
try
eggs.
all the eggs and see what you like.
I don't know. They just always kind of smelled funky to me, though. Hard-boiled eggs.
No,
Like
no, they're fine.
They're fine.
she
They're good.
eats weird. Like you eat sauerkraut. I can't even stand the smell of sauerkraut.
That's not even close to an egg. Hard-boiled egg, cut it up, put it on a salad, the way God intended a salad
Oh,
to be,
yes.
with good raw
Egg
rich
salad. Do you
bacon
like
bits.
egg salad? Do you know what egg salad is? He
Yes.
hesitated.
So here's my take on salads. Salad is salad. You can't make anything else into salad. Ham.
Do you eat
does-
chicken or ham salad?
No, that's not freaking salad. Salad is made out of salad. You can't turn other shit into salad. No, you can't.
Chicken salad is fucking
No,
disgusting.
it's disgusting.
You love ham salad.
I like
No.
ham salad. I don't.
But
Ham
that's
salad is
because your mom
disgusting,
makes
too.
it with bologna, not
You know,
ham.
ham salad, chicken salad,
We
all
didn't-
that stuff that's made into salad that's not salad is not salad.
We didn't have money growing up. We substituted with bologna. I'm sorry. Fried bologna. You take a grilled cheese, put bologna in the middle, fry that bitch. Phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. You're talking to the person that had absolutely no money growing up. Trust me, I know.
When you act like we were the fucking Rockefellers, we were like one step above you.
I will never, ever,
They didn't have
ever
all easy
forget.
eggs in this place,
This is my
though.
most favorite story in the entire world. So one year my mom was like, beans are really, really good for you. They're really healthy. So we're going to eat beans for every meal. And I was like, oh, this is a terrible idea, but whatever, let's do it. So we literally eat beans for every meal for a year. Come to find out 5 years later, she's like, yeah, we had no money. That was all we could afford. So we just fed you guys beans. And I was like, way to spin that. We ate beans. We
See,
ate
you
lima
can't trust
beans.
anybody, Caroline. The media tells you what they want you to know.
Exactly.
And your mom was your media at that
Oh,
time.
heck yeah, she was. But yeah.
Yeah, from the
No,
family
egg
who's
salad.
famous for donut holes.
Yeah.
Diabetic in a bag.
Yeah.
My mom has diabetes.
Yeah, and sold it to everybody around town.
She did.
And
My
won't
grandma-
share the recipe now. That's just mean. The next generation's going to run out of diabetes.
The thing
Your
that
family's full.
absolutely baffles me is my mom makes sugar cookies for everybody. They're the best sugar cookies.
But she won't eat 'em.
in the entire world. She can't eat a one.
Yeah.
Doesn't eat a one. I will come
How do
over
you
and she'd
taste
be
test
like,
that?
Carolyn, will you she has me come over and she'll be like, taste test this for me, and I'll be like, oh, it's good. She's like, okay, just checking. But she can just look at it and know if it's good or not. She just knows.
You've
Never taste test anything.
You've never done the reverse psychology, though.
Yeah.
Sometime just in conversation, don't make a big deal. Just make it very passing. Just be like, them donut holes at grandma's weren't no good anyway. I don't need the recipe. I found a better one. And just play that off.
Oh, he's got a point there.
Just play that off like 6 or 7 times, but don't make a big deal like you're
That's
trying to make a
actually a good
point.
I don't know your mom super well. I know her fairly well. I'm going to guess she's got enough competitive spirit in her where the real Carolyn's going to come out and bam, she's going to lay it down.
That's how I don't need it. Hell, I found one better. Nick's grandma's was better than these. But don't make a big deal.
It's
Just
a good idea. Actually.
pass it off and just keep on moving with the conversation to where she has to stew about it. Be like, oh yeah, these are.
I will tell you. So my mom been diabetic since she was 15 years old. She makes the best food in the entire world. Like mashed potatoes, gravy, all the meat. She can cook all of it amazingly well. Never taste any of it. She just has that knack.
What if she's actually not diabetic and she led you guys to believe that she is? And behind the scenes,
It's
she's
like the
eating-
Titanic of food.
Exactly, it's a conspiracy. Behind the scenes, she's eating all this stuff, and
Yeah.
you guys have no clue.
I've seen what she eats for supper. I assure you, she's
It's all front, Carolyn.
She's the healthiest person I've ever met in my entire life.
No,
ever.
It's all
Ever.
front.
I'm the healthiest person you've ever met.
No, you are not.
You've said
You're
it time
the
and
most you are the most healthy person I've ever met in my
Exactly.
life. Like
Your body is an
he's
anomaly.
absolute garbage. He does nothing. He does no movement. If I put a watch on him to track his steps for a day, it'd be like 3,000.
She thinks I go to work and just like sit in the front yard, just watch cars go by and wave at them.
Pretty
like
much
I don't
that's
do
what
any
you
of
You
that.
tell
are
me,
one of the
yeah.
few people I know. It's like, hey, Tony, you want to go out for supper? No, I haven't had a meal for 2 days, but I ain't got time tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Like, you haven't eaten for 2 days? No, I've been real busy. I have never forgotten to eat. Tony forgets to eat.
Oh no, actually, I forget to eat too.
Now back in his day, Tony and I did dive into the occasional. We'll get a pizza and a quarter ice cream for ourselves.
True.
For some PlayStation.
I remember like a year ago, I told her, I'm like, because I'd read all these things about like a 24-hour fast is really good for you. So I'm like, let's do a 24-hour fast. She's like, okay, that's fine. One day, that ain't no big deal. And so we did it. And at like probably 12, 13 for like 30 minutes in there. I'm like, man, this is tough. And then I'm like, boom, I'm good to go. Hell, I could have went 2 days. By like hour 25, she's like, give me something. I gotta have something to eat. I'm a fucking diet. And she just grabbing anything she can get.
I did not cave.
You didn't cave?
No. So we did a 3-day fast. And by day 2, I was literally on my hands and knees. Like, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
I was good though.
But you failed to tell me we could drink whatever we wanted to. Like, I was just drinking water. And he's like, well, you need Gatorade. And I was like, well, that's a game changer. So I drank a Gatorade, and I was like, oh, I'm good. I just needed some sugar or whatever in my system.
You're all about the loopholes, though, Carolyn. You're all about the loopholes.
Back when I was like 21, 22 working at Equity, and for those of you who don't know Equity, it's a big co-op around here, spraying, spreading fertilizer, all that shit. I would literally leave at 8 o'clock in the morning and not have anything to eat or drink until 9, 10 o'clock at night. Didn't take a water jug, didn't take nothing.
That's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's not.
And this is what you're like a fucking camel. You can just go whatever.
This is what makes me mad about him. So he's the most unhealthiest person I've ever met in my entire life. I do all the things. I work out. I eat all the good food. I take all the vitamins. So here a year ago, we had an assessment test. We got life insurance, whatever. Mine was only marginally better than his. And I was like, how? How in the world am I killing myself doing all these things? And here his test scores are like so close to mine. It really actually makes me mad.
My family has history of living a long time.
Your family also has a history of heart disease. And I'm like, what the heck?
But they pushed through, and they lived through it, Carolyn.
Exactly. That's why there's pacemakers and stuff like that. We can pull through this. We can come together.
It baffles me. Like, he's had however many beers tonight, whatever. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to drink a green tea before I go to bed. I'm going to take, like, at least 10 vitamins. And we will both wake up the same tomorrow morning. And I'm like, how?
And I'll go outside and build fence and fart around. And
I'll go do whatever, but I have to do all the things in order for that to happen. And you're just like, I'm just going to go to bed. I may have a pizza before I go to bed. I may have some chips and chip dip. I don't know. And I'm like, oh no, I have to drink water, and I have to take my vitamins, and I have to do this.
It's called genetics, Carolyn.
It's crap.
Yep, I think them vitamins... Crap. It's just like I've said, you're on conspiracies, vitamins are the same way. I've always said cigarettes are not what gives you cancer. It's the lighters. That's where the fucking cancer's hidden. You look at these old guys that light their cigarettes with matches, they live to be 95. People who light with lighters,
had that theory.
They fucking die when they're 65. The cancer is hidden in the lighters, I'm telling you.
It's the butane. Bastard gas, butane.
Yep.
It's not like propane.
You're just fooling yourself. You're just
propane lighter.
It's crap.
I don't know.
No, it's because I'm a woman and you're a man. And there's just different...
But I thought you guys
were equal. You're equal now.
I have never said that. It's just different biology.
No, you're equal.
I think you're equal. I just think it's funny.
Well, I'm glad you guys think we're equal. I
just think it's funny, all these guys kicking the shit out of women in all their sports. You guys want an equal treatment? There you go.
Yeah. Bye-bye, WNBA.
Yeah. Maybe the WNBA will actually be worth watching now. We get a few men in it.
You want to make the team? Yeah, just make the team.
No, we shouldn't say that.
No, we can't.
It's our podcast. We don't give a fuck. We'll say it.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Don't you can tell I'm just like over here biting my tongue. So I'm just... No comment.
No comment? Okay. Well, do you think we should end on that note?
Yeah,
It's been
Yes,
an hour.
let's end on a
wrap it
no
up.
comment. Yeah.
All right, that's fine. We finally rendered you speechless.
Yeah, finally wore her down. She's going to go upstairs, make some eggs.
I'm going to go upstairs, take all my vitamins, drink all the water, and
Oh, let me know how that works out for you.
it'll work out great.
I'll probably smoke 6 cigarettes, have a few more beers, and
Call it a night.
yeah,
Yep.
Sleep like a baby.
Exactly.
be ready to wake up for some over easy eggs in the morning.
You don't even
With
know what
cheese
that
on 'em.
is.
With
Quit
cheese on
acting like you know what that is.
I actually don't, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Well, anyway, we're glad everybody tuned in to this wild podcast.
Yeah, this was
All over the
board.
place.
We
Yeah.
went from winning World War II to fucking
Yeah.
making eggs.
I don't even know how we got from point A to point B.
So what we learned tonight is Carolyn reads books that she shouldn't read, but she could be reading ops manuals. Tony doesn't know shit about eggs. And
You do all the cooking in your house.
no, I don't do all of it. My
Nick
wife's,
came out
my,
looking like
my
a
wife's a great
rose.
cook. She's a great cook.
Let's throw Nick on
but
the
but I do like, I love to cook. I love to cook. So it doesn't bother me in the least. I'll cook anytime you ask me. I cook broths tonight before I come over. And that's why I'm late. But I love to cook.
I'm not much
and
into cooking.
I love to cook. Well, you don't have to. Yeah, Carolyn.
Shocker.
Clearly, you don't know much about it, so you probably shouldn't get into it. Same reason I'm not doing brain surgery. I don't know much about it.
We should have the Mrs. Growing Corn and the Growing Corn cookbooks on TikTok.
Oh my god.
Tony's his pizza
Tony's would
rolls,
just be like,
hot
let's go to McDonald's,
pockets,
let's go
anything
to
you can warm
wherever.
up. But he's gonna have to dip back in the archives in his pre-marriage days, which has been a while ago.
My cookbook will be number 2 at McDonald's. Next day, number 2 plain.
Here's my thing. His pre-marriage days would date back to whatever mom made for supper. Because that's what happened.
Clearly wasn't over easy eggs.
We talked about that one. It's no bullshit. Her and I went on one date and I moved in.
He did. No joke.
What a leech.
I know.
And I still let him hang out.
Yeah.
I provide you
Your
with the
fault,
nicest lawnmower known to man. Look at this extravagant palace that I provided for you.
Oh my
And
God.
this is the thanks I get. Scrambled eggs. It's unbelievable. I don't know. She's always telling me to try new things. I guess I'm going to try a new woman.
Yeah. You go right in.
Yes, this went in
Go
a
right
really drastic direction here. I can't be party to this.
No, I don't know how we went from winning World War II to
To Carolyn not
borderline
participating
getting
in
divorced
it.
here. I don't know. This
To
is crazy.
Tony finding himself sleeping on your couch tonight, but here we are.
I'll give you a ride. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll make eggs in the morning.
Yeah, we can do that, I guess. Well, we've rendered you speechless. I think we've all had enough beer this.
Yeah,
we gotta get a
probably
trash
done
can down here. You're the janitor around here. Get a trash. Look at all these fucking beer cans.
Yeah.
I can
agree.
barely
We're starting to
see
pile
you.
up, Carolyn.
Oh my gosh. I'm
There's
so sorry.
at least a case of cans here. Pretty close. I don't know how much.
Make it happen.
She's got to get all technical now.
There's 20. I had to count.
Pretty close. Oh, you and your White Claws. Oh,
Yeah.
I had 3 White Claws.
We dream big, get some Weimaraners.
yeah.
There's only 3 White Claws down there.
Yeah, whatever.
God. Thank God. Well, anyway, we better end this here because somebody's going to go upstairs and take vitamins and drink 9 gallons of water. So thanks for tuning in to the Straightforward Farming Podcast. Any of you guys that are out there farming, be careful and be on the lookout. We're getting ready to do a great series on this podcast, one that I think everybody's going to like.
Yep.
We're doing a little more research on it,
It's
but
going to be epic.
it's going to be good. And then actually, when we was outside taking a piss a little bit ago, we come up with another great brainstorm that I think is going to be really good if we can get this pulled off too. I think you guys are really going to like it. So anyway, we will catch you guys hopefully next week on the Straightforward Farming Podcast. Be careful, guys. We'll see you.
Later.